This is the Celebrity Authority Show. Please welcome your host, Sam Cawthorn!
So here we are at another great Celebrity Authority Show, and we have Glenise Anderson here in the studio. Glenise, thank you so much for coming along.
You're welcome. I'm excited to be here.
And Glenise, look, I'm really keen to find out more about what you're currently doing out there in the world, because now there's a lot of people that are booking you. There's a lot of people that want your valuable advice. Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
So, Sam, I'm a speaker and trainer. I've authored some ebooks, and I am a transition expert.
And what does that mean? What's a transition expert?
Well, it's really interesting, and there is a change between, there is a difference between change and transition, in that change in organisations is like policies and procedures and moving the desks and things like that. Yeah. Transition is the human side of change. It's about getting to the people from where they are to where the organisation wants to get them
I've never heard that before. So change is actually more materials and stuff, but the transition is the human element of change.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, can you unpack that a little bit more for us? Because you know, there's so much change going on everywhere at the moment, and tell us more about what specifically you help organisations and individuals in.
Yeah, okay. Well, one of the challenges with organisations, of course, is that they've been working in the C-suite about these changes for a long time, and then they roll them out with the employees, and the employees have trouble catching up.
Yep.
And in my research from behavioural profiling, over 60% of the population struggle with change unless it's rolled out in a calm and logical manner.
So then what's your advice for some of these leaders and these change makers to really dictate change, but in a great way so people can come on board rather than picking up the pieces? Like, what's some of the greatest transition leaders that you've noticed that do it well?
Yes, there's a few out there, but a lot of companies don't do it well.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk to those companies rather than the ones who do it well.
Yeah.
And that's because they need to be a bit calmer about the slowness of the employee uptake is. And because I have moved and transitioned a lot myself in my life, I've moved house 37 times. So
wait, you've moved house 37 times?
Yeah. So
why is that?
Well, I came from a New Zealand family, and I was born in Singapore, so my first move was when I was 6 months old. I'm now married to someone in the resource industry, so in the last 10 years we've moved 5 times. So that's a bit challenging. So I am a transition expert.
So what, he's in mining, yeah?
He's in mining,
and
yes.
He gets posted from place to place regularly, yeah?
Absolutely, yes. And so what I found is I had to roll out a process that I would survive as well every time I landed in a new community that I didn't know anybody. And then I looked at my research, and then I spoke to all of these people in the new community, and from my corporate background of 25 plus years, I found that I wasn't the only one who struggled with transition.
So you got into this industry very organically because you had to transition. You literally had to transition. And as we know, moving house once is hard enough, let alone 37 times. Yeah. So you organically came into this, and now you've learnt how you've done it. Now you're helping other people. So if someone's out there that's going through some significant change right now, whether it's in their personal or their professional life, what are some tips and advice that you could give them to transition well?
Yeah, well, come and see me, of course. And for me and my process with my clients, whether they be individual or organisational, I like to do a behavioural profile so they understand exactly who they are and why they react the way they do. And then I take them through my step-in process, my step into their confidence process. And I have to tell you how I came about step-in.
Yeah.
It's because of my love of shoes.
Really? So you love shoes.
Everybody knows me for my shoes.
Yeah,
and
right.
to me, step in was about forward movement.
Okay.
And then I had a 3-step process of first problem, identify the right problem. And there's this brilliant quote that says, it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm really keen on the other two. So the first one,
Yes.
yep.
And the second one is plan. Plan all your steps. Once you know where you're going, there's a much greater chance of you getting there.
Right.
And then the third one is persevere, because you're not going to get to where you're going unless you persevere.
Right.
And I've got strategies to help people to get there as well.
So problem, plan, persevere, and that's how anyone at all can navigate change.
Any change in their lives, at work.
Yeah,
any
great.
change.
Hey, Glenise, that's a really practical process there, which I really love. And tell us, who are some of the organisations that you'd love to work with that really need this type of IP at the moment?
Yeah, I'd really like to work with big corporations because one of the things about big corporations is they undergo change all of the time.
Yeah.
So as soon as they come down the hill of rolling out a change, they're looking to innovate again to be more marketable.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenise, what do you love doing in your spare time? What's something that you love, your third space? Yeah, we have this concept what a third space is. It's something outside of your work, something outside of your home, but something that you do just for you to recharge yourself. What's your third space?
My third space is the gym. I get up very early in the morning, about 4:30 or 5, because my husband's in mining.
Yum.
And so I work solidly for a few hours and then I go to the gym. That's my third space, and I also meditate.
And you meditate.
Yeah.
How do you meditate?
I use guided meditation because I have a very busy mind,
Yeah.
and so I will just think about something I want to be better at, and I'll find a meditation for it, and I'll listen to it.
Glenise, you're actually not based here because this studio here is we're based in Sydney, but whereabouts are you based?
I actually live in Gunnedah in New South Wales, inland from Tamworth. And one of the things I love about living in a small region is every time I kick a goal, it's a message to everybody else there that it doesn't matter where you live in the world, you can achieve things.
Glenise, thank you so much for coming out all the way from Gunnedah here today and joining us here at the Celebrity Authority Show. But before you go, we have this challenge at the end of our episodes, and it's called the 10 Questions in 60 Seconds Challenge. Glenise Anderson, do you accept the challenge?
I accept, Sam.
All right, Glenise, your time starts now. Favourite colour?
Blue.
Blue, of course it is. Favourite food?
Salmon.
Salmon, I like Tasmanian Atlantic salmon, or yes. Favourite celebrity?
Or Oprah.
Oprah.
Yeah, because she has lots of interesting people.
She does,
Yeah.
and not only that, she always seems really warm to
Yeah,
connect with. Yeah.
yeah.
Favourite actor?
Or could you go past George Clooney?
George,
Maybe ask the girls
yes,
out there. Yeah.
Favourite professional speaker?
Professional speaker. Now, if I wasn't to say you, because of course that goes without saying, I quite like Amy Cuddy and what she says about the power posing. I'm a bit into Wonder Woman
Yeah,
myself.
she's great, and she's got a great TED talk as well.
She
yeah?
has an amazing
Yeah,
TED
awesome.
talk.
Favourite book?
I'm reading at the moment the KonMari method about organising, a Japanese way to organise.
Yeah, great, and that became a New York Times bestseller,
Yeah,
didn't it?
it's
Yeah, it's a
fantastic.
big book at the moment. Favourite movie?
Movie, As Good As It Gets by Jack Nicholson. Quite old, but it actually changed my life and I left a job because of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
after that scene where he
well,
walked
it's a significant
in,
movie in your
yeah,
journey.
yeah.
Favourite city?
City, oh, that's a good question. I quite like coming back to Sydney.
Yep,
Yeah,
Sydney
quite
is
like
the
coming
greatest
back
city
to
in the world.
Sydney,
Totally
yeah.
agree. Favourite drink?
Well, French champagne.
French champagne, yeah, I
Yes,
love
I'd
it.
rather
Favourite
buy
pizza topping?
Anchovies.
Anchovies, yes. And Glenise, if you could be an animal, which animal would you be?
I think I'd like to be a cat.
Why is that?
Freedom to do whatever you want. You can ignore people, and you go from sunshine space to sunshine space.
I love it. Glenise Anderson, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Glenise Anderson. Glenise, thank you so much for joining here on the Celebrity Authority Show.
Thank you, Sam.